So going to the subregions, as you can see from the slide, there are four subregions. One is Brazilian subregion, Mexican subregion, Chilean subregion, and West Indies, otherwise known as Andean subregion. So let's see what are the important areas coming under the Brazilian subregion. And if you look at the map, you can see that this is the Brazilian subregion is mainly this part, this green part, which is mostly formed of Amazon rainforest, is included in the Brazilian subregion. So if you take the Brazilian subregion is characterized by tropical forest, thick tropical forest. You can also see in the previous slide that the tropical forest of Brazil looks like this. This is a tropical forest of the Brazil, or the Amazon forest. This is one of the richest rich areas of the world, because there are several thousands of undiscovered species still remaining in the Amazon rainforest. So that is the importance of Brazil, and it was the studies done by Charles Darwin in Brazil that helped him to find out many of the complexities of the animal diversity. He got the idea that animals have evolved from one common ancestor. That feeling he got from by studying the animals in the Brazilian forest. So that is an important, and so importance of the Brazil in the in evolution and also in the zoogeography. So Brazil is an important part of this neotropical realm. Now, so in the case of Brazil, it's basically tropical rainforest. You know what are the features of a tropical rainforest. There will be high temperature, heavy rainfall, and most of the time that trees will be broad-leafed deciduous or broad-leafed leaves. Then the second subregion is known as the Mexican subregion. Mexican subregion contains two regions. One is Central America, that connects the North America and the South America. If you look at the map, you can see that this is the next subregion, and that is this subregion is known as the Mexican subregion, because a portion of the Mexico is included here. Now this region is known as the Central America. Consists of many smaller islands like Honduras, Panama, etc. And these are the main countries which are located in this strip of land or in this land bridge. So that is, it has its own special geographical features, climatic features, geological features, and animals and plants of this area are also very much different from other parts of North America or South America. That is why it is placed as a separate subregion in the Neotropical realm. So the Mexican subregion is mostly composed of southern portion of the Mexico and Central America. These are the main regions which are coming under the second subregion known by the name Brazilian subregion. Now we go to the Chilean subregion. Now Chilean subregion consists of western coast of South America. This western coast of South America, this is the region. This western coast of South America is generally dry. If you look at here we can find lot of thick rainforest. But here, what you are seeing here is that this region is mostly dry, and in this region, on the rain shadow region of Andes mountain, it is desert. So the western region of this Chile is composed of deciduous forest, and in some parts we can find grass. The alpine mountains are there. So it has a unique climate. That is why it is placed as a separate subregion, and differentiating it from other parts of the South America or Neotropical realm. Now this is the features of the Chilean subregion. Then another subregion is the West Indies subregion. Now, West Indies subregion is mainly coming under this area. These areas are the West Indies, the area between North America and South America. And this portion is known as the West Indies. I will show you in another. So, this is the details of the West Indies. So, it consists of several smaller islands. We can say Haiti is there, Dominican Republic is there, Puerto Rico is there, then Saint Kitts and Nevis is there, then Antigua Barbuda. That was in news because of one person, and I think Nirav Modi or some person was hiding there. Then Dominica is there, Saint Lucia is there, Saint Vincent and Grenada is there. So there are Barbados is there, and Trinidad and Tobago is there. So these are the various islands which are constituting the Caribbean islands. So Caribbean islands are sometimes also known by the name West Indies. That is why it is a term coming from the colonial period. This is West Indies. So now it is popularly known by the name Caribbean islands, and it is these islands are mostly characterized by a lot of rocks. The thick forests are not common in this Caribbean rainforest. So they have a, because of the special, because fast blowing winds are there. Sometimes hurricanes or tornadoes are common here, and that is why this is placed as a separate region. So from the South America, this region is differentiating in shows differences in many characteristics. It has its own peculiar climate, terrain is different, and the fauna as well as the flora is also different. So that is why we are placing it as a separate sub-region. That is why the West Indies region is placed as a separate. So looking at the subregions of South America or South Neotropical realm, we are finding 4 subregions. Brazilian is there, Mexican subregion is there, Chilean subregion is there, and West Indies subregion is there. These are the 4 subregions of the Neotropical realm. Now let's see what are the important faunistic features or important animals present in the Neotropical realm. So if we look at the faunistic diversity, it is rich in endemic families. What is the meaning of the word endemic? Endemic basically means if an animal is present only in one particular region, for it's endemic to South America, means they are only present in South America. Endemic to Western Ghats means they are only present in Western Ghats. So endemic, the word endemic means localized or restricted or find only in that area. That is the meaning of the word endemic. That is, when we say the South American country or Neotropical realm has so many endemic species, means there are so many different types of plants and animals which are only present there. If these plants and animals are extinct, are destroyed there, they will be extincted, they will get extinct from the world. So that is the importance of endemic animals. So endemic animals is increase the diversity or biodiversity value of any region. You can see almost 40 families. There are 155 families of vertebrates. Vertebrates, animals with vertebrae are known as vertebrates. Mammals, lizards, reptiles, amphibians, fishes are all or vertebrates. Out of these 155 families of vertebrates or chordates, we can see that 40 families are found only in South America. So that shows the importance of this region in biodiversity studies, because it has a rich diversity of plants and animals, especially animals. Then other fauna. Many fauna are shared with the Nearctic. Which area are known as Nearctic? Nearctic is this region. This North American region is known as a Nearctic region. So many of the animals present in South America came from North America. Yesterday I was telling the evolution or migration of the camel and also the case of horse. They all came from North America to the South America. So there are some animals present in South America which are exhibiting similarities with the animals present in North America. That is why the fauna is shared with the Nearctic, or we can say that there are affinities with the Nearctic realm. Affinities means similarity. So, in the use of the fauna, we can find similarities or affinities with the Nearctic fauna. And there are no other realm or no other continent nearby the South America. So only with the Nearctic continent it is exhibiting some kind of similarity or affinity. Now let's see what are the features of the common vertebrates or chordates. One important feature of this group is that if you look at the Asian region, there are a lot of species of carp. The labio is the carp species, Mugil cephalus, you might have heard. So such carp species are common in Asian countries, and also in European countries we can find many species of carp. But in South America, the carp family, the Cyprinidae, that family is almost absent. And whatever families of fishes present in South America are mostly endemic. Earlier we were seeing that out of the 55 families, 40 families are endemic. That shows that that is the case. So in the case of fishes also, many species are endemic to this area. And there is an electric eel. You know what are the features of an electric eel? And this of electric eel, this type of fishes are capable of producing electricity. So they have, here you can find an electric eel. They have certain organs which works like a battery, and these organs produce an electric current, and that electric current will be present in an area around the body of the fish. If some animal, if maybe it can be a prey or it can be a predator, is entering that field of electrical waves, that will be immediately dictated by the electrical organ of the electric eel. So you might have heard about the echolocation, how the bat is using ultrasonic sound waves for the navigation. And a similar kind of method is also used by electric eel. They are using this electricity to detect the variation in the electrical field around their body, and by that mechanism they are able to detect the presence of any prey species or other enemies nearby. So that is the nature of this electric eel. So many species of electric eels are present in the Nearctic region. You can see that some of the electric species are like Gymnotidae, that's a family. Then similarly, there are catfishes are there, charasin and is there. Charasin fishes are there. One example is the charasin, the like piranha. You might have heard about piranha, the word piranha. So charasins are common here. Then under the charasins, the piranhas are also coming. So charasins are basically a tropical fish or a subtropical fish. And that is also a monophyletic group. Monophyletic group means there are no other related genus in that group. That is why monophyletic. Only that group is there. Evolutionarily speaking, they don't have any subgroups. That is the meaning of the monophyletic. And they are mostly used as an aquarium fish. And you might have heard about a fish called tetra. Tetra, many of you might have. And these characins are related to tetra. It's a common aquarium fish, closely related to the tetra fish that which we usually grow in aquariums here. So these are some of the features of characins and also the electric eel. Now another is the lepidosiren. Now if you look at the lepidosiren, you know the lepidosiren is a lungfish. That lungfish, you know, what are the features of lungfish you might have studied. Because lungfish possess a lungs. It is because of the presence of lungs in lungfish. They are able to survive outside water for some amount of time. So the species that is common in South America is a lepidosiren, and species name is paradoxa. Lepidosiren paradoxa is the lungfish species that we can find in the rivers of Amazon the rivers of Amazon, and also in the river of Paraguay. Then there is another river called Parana River. that is also in a south of little south of South America. And all these three rivers we can find Lepidopsire and Paradoxa. They are around 4 feet in there, not a small fish. They are very large fish. The size will be around, the length will be around 4 feet. So it's a very comparatively big fish. And they have an ability for what goes summer sleep or estivation. And during estivation, what happens is that they will be covering their body in a layer of mucus, and they will be sleeping inside that mucus bag. So that and during that time, the metabolism of the body will be greatly reduced. So animal will not be making any movement. Only the minimum activity, like the heart activities of the heart and the necessary respiration only will be taking place. So that is one feature of this Lepidopsiren to tide over unfavorable conditions. Then another fish that we can find is the garpike. Here garpike I will show here. This is a very long fish. You can see that how big is that fish is there. So in this of garpike they have a very pointed snout or mouth part. So it's also a very long fish, and sometimes they have a length of up to 10 feet. So it's not a small. If you look at this person, that this fish itself is more than 6 feet, I think. So the length of the fish may be around 10 feet usually. And one interesting feature of the garpike is that they have a gas bladder, air bladder inside for storing the oxygen. So the presence of gas bladder is an important feature, and by the help of gas bladder they can take a lot of oxygen and go down. So that is the mechanism by which the garpikes are able to respire deep in water. Then their distribution, they are mainly found in Mexico and most parts of Central America and West Indies. So if you look at garpike, they are not present in South America, only in the northern Mexico. Mexico is actually a part of North America. Then in the Central American region, that is the middle region, and in the West Indies, only that we can find garpike. So they are not present in Amazon or other parts of South America. Then we have several species. Catfishes are there. Here you can see that some species of catfish. One is Diplomistus is one species. Then Nematogenis is another. Both are catfishes. So catfishes usually having this kind of feelers. So that is one feature by which we can easily distinguish the catfishes. And these catfishes are endemic to Chile. Chile is on the western side of South America, and there are two genus. One is the velvet catfish, to which the Diplomyces is commonly known by the name velvet catfishes. So this is a primitive family of catfish and present mainly in Chile. Then another genus is Nematogenis, and this Nematogenis is also a catfish present mainly in mountain regions of South America. That is also especially in Andes mountain, and they are also endemic to regions of Chile, where they are present in the freshwater rivers of Chile. So that is a case with the two kinds of catfishes. One is Nematogenis, other is Diplomistus. So regarding the diversity of these fishes, these are some of the interesting animals of the under the fishes. Now we will see the case of few animals from amphibians. Here you can see that there is the case of salamander. Salamander is an important fish that you can find in this region. Now, if you look at the salamander, the body of a salamander is actually characterized by yellow spots. This yellow spots is actually a warning coloration. So, just like that is sometimes because of that, these salamanders are known as tiger salamander. Tiger salamander. The word tiger salamander is given. So that is an important feature of the salamander. And most of the salamanders are capable of regeneration, right? That is, if one limb or one leg or one limb is lost, the salamanders will be able to regenerate that lost limb. So that is an important feature of the salamander. Then sometimes the salamanders are also produce one kind of poison. That poison is known by the name tetra dot tetrodotoxin. Tetrodotoxin. That is the meaning of that's a special kind of poison. So that, but it doesn't have any organ for releasing or injecting it directly into the. So the skin will be containing tetrodotoxin, and those salamanders which are having this tetrodotoxin on their skin will be brightly colored as a warning coloration that I am dangerous, don't touch me. So that is a kind of coloration this tiger salamanders usually exhibit. Then there is another is the type of frog known by the name pipa. This pipa, here also you can find this pipa. Another picture is pipa, and there are several names for this pipa. Commonly this pipa is known as the Suriname toad. Suriname toad, that is the common name of pipa, and they are present mainly in Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, then Peru and Suriname, then and also in Venezuela. So in the northern portion of South America, this common Suriname toad or pipa, that is a scientific name. Now it is also a tropical, present mostly in tropical forest, especially in the swamps or in freshwater marshes are there. Right now its habitat is severely threatened, and regarding its reproductive habits, they have a very interesting way of producing. They will be carrying their eggs on the body of. Here you can see that they are carrying their eggs on their body. So that is the nature by which they are carrying. After giving birth, mother will be the eggs will be carried on the body of their back, and the eggs will be rearing there also. Then after giving birth to young ones, this mother will slowly remove the thin layer of skin, and that was used, and that skin will be again used for producing a next generation of young ones. So that is an interesting character that we cannot find in other species of frogs. So that is an interesting feature of the Suriname toad. So that is the case with the Suriname toad. Then we can see few more species. Buffo is the common frog. The common toad that we can find here is known as the buffo. Buffo is present in India. In many parts of Europe also we can find buffo is there. So buffo is a very common. It's a species of toad. What is the difference between toad and a frog? Toad usually having a dry skin, whereas a frog usually have a moist skin. And toads are commonly present on land, whereas frogs are commonly present in water. So these are some of the differences between a buffo as well as a toad. Now another interesting thing is that on the surface of the body, on the surface of the skin, there are small glands. Poisonous glands are there. These poisonous glands produce a toxin or a poison irritating fluid. So when some enemies or like predators like dog or other animals are catching it, that the toad will be releasing this irritating fluid, and so that the predator will immediately release it. So that is the mechanism for protection from enemies that the toads are using. So, and most of the time toads are living on land. The other species is the rana. Rana is the common frog. You know that the frogs are characterized by a smooth wet skin, and most of the time frogs will be present in the water or near to the water. Very rarely they come out of the water. They prefer to be near the water because they can only live in a fresh water. So that is another characteristics of the. So many species of frogs are present in South America. So under the amphibian we can see salamanders are there, piper are there, buffo are there, and rana is also present. Then next is the reptiles. Coming to the reptiles, we have a heloderma. Heloderma is a very poisonous, is one of the poisonous, is a poisonous lizard. And this of heloderma, you can see that you can look at the heloderma. They have a warning coloration, and this heloderma is most of the time present in the northern part of the Neotropical realm. And the fat they are storing the fat. The tail is very blunt and very thick, and this thick tail is used for storing the fat. So that is one interesting thing. And heloderma is a poisonous species. Even though it is a poisonous species, it doesn't have any muscle or venom muscle or teeth to inject the poison. What they are doing is that they will be chewing the prey, and during this chewing active process the poison will be released from the glands in the mouth, and that will be killing the small animals which are like rodents or small mammals which they are feeding on. And so that is the nature by which is heloderma or this poisonous lizard is feeding or eating the prey. Now another species that you can find is the coral snakes. There are several species of coral snakes are very interesting animals, coral snakes, because most of the time these coral snakes are very colorful. So you can see that the coral snake, that is because the term coral snake is used, they are present in forest, not in the sea. So there are poisonous snakes. There are several species like Calliofish, Hemibangarus, and then Microrurus. These are some of the interesting species. Both in Asian countries and also in South American country, we can find coral snake. Even in our Western Ghats, we can find a few species of coral snakes. So coral snakes are not very highly poisonous, but they have the most of the time they are very elusive. That means they will be moving away from the. And the interesting thing is that they are very colorful. It is the colorful nature of this species which has given them the coral snake. So in South America we can find several species of this coral snake. Then another is the Typhlops. The Typhlops is commonly known by the name blind snake. You know the term blind snake. You might have heard about the Typhlops. This is a small snake. Even in our area, we can find Typhlops. The Typhlops is a very small. The skin is very smooth and moist. Most of the time, it doesn't have. It's not very long, and it is also known as a blind snake. The reason why it is known as a blind snake is that it cannot see properly. That is why these species are known as a blind snake. So they are present in not only in South America and also in Asian countries. Also we can find these Typhlops. So Typhlop. Then there is a similar species known as Indo-Typhlops brahminus. That is the species that is common in our area or in South India. That is Indo-Typhlops brahminus. Is a type of species. So they are very small. Then another is a pit viper. Now in the case of pit viper, they have a loreal pit. That is why they are known as the pit viper. The pit vipers are characterized by the presence of a loreal pit in this region near to their eye, and this loreal pit is used for dictating the temperature. So it's a temperature sensing organ. That is why the pit vipers are called by the name given the name that name. Now we have, there are also in our forest we have pit vipers, but in South America there are several species of pit vipers are there. Then the one important thing about the pit vipers is that many of the species are quite colorful. So the and they are mostly active during daytime, and that is one important feature. And they will be they uh, and they are also very poisonous species also. And because of the bright coloration, they are sometimes caught by human beings for rearing, because several people are interested in rearing species which are quite colorful. So pit vipers are poisonous animal, and then South America several species of pit vipers are present. So you can see here, this is a very colorful species. Then caiman is there. Caiman is a type of crocodile that is present in South America. You can see caiman, and here caiman crocodile here. So in this of caiman, now you can, the picture of the caiman is shown here, and that is the species of crocodile that is commonly present in South America. Now, especially in Mexico, Central and Central America, and also in northern part of South America, where they are living in the marshes or in the swamps of the rivers and lakes there. And they mostly have a nocturnal habit, nocturnal existence. They are not, during daytime they don't come out much, but most of the time they will be coming out from now there is some few differences between caiman and alligator. They are both closely related, because in the case of caiman, they don't have a bony septum between their nostril. That is one feature by which we can, it is between the nostril there is a bony partition, even in our nose. That is not present in the case of caiman. That is why it's one character. There are several characters by which we can easily distinguish a caiman from an alligator. So both caiman and alligators are present in South America. Then turtles are there. Turtles are crocodiles, not crocodiles, tortoises which are living in the sea. In South America, in both in fresh ocean and also in the rivers of Amazon, we can find several species of turtle. The photo of one species of turtle you can see. In the case of turtle, then these turtles are characterized by what is called the presence of a flipper-like thing. It is because by the help of this flipper, they are able to swim in the river waters. So turtles are there most of the time. These turtles are also large tortoises living in the sea. Then few more examples of are there. Then we come to the next part, that is the birds. Regarding the South America is sometimes known as a bird continent. Why it is known as a bird continent is that there are several species of birds. Several species of birds are there, and it is because of the rich diversity of birds in South America we use the term bird continent. Now there are several species, and one important bird that you don't know is that Rhea americana. It's a flightless bird native to the eastern regions of South America, especially in Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, and Uruguay. In these countries we can find the greater Rhea or Rhea americana, and it has a life expectancy of around 10 years or more than that. Then it is now a threatened species, near threatened species, almost nearly, because of habitat destruction. It is also a flightless bird. It is because of the flightless nature of this bird that is making it nearly threatened. So it's also a very tall bird also. A heavy bird, around 20-25 kilogram will be the weight of one bird is around that. So that is the case of the rhea. Then another bird that you can find is the tinamous. The tinamous is a bird you may not have seen much. I will tell you a few more points regarding the tinamous. In the case of tinamous, you can see a picture of tinamous here. Then the tinamous is mainly present in the Andes regions of South America. Basically, in the Andes regions of South America, we can find the tinamous. It is a ground-dwelling bird, and most of the time they are present in the mountain regions of mountain regions of South America, especially in the Andes mountains. You can find the picture of tinamous here. It is in the Andes mountains that we find this species more common. Then other interesting things about the most of the black. This is a black tinamous that you are seeing here. Then they are in the case of their conservation status, they are considered as a vulnerable species. Vulnerable means not so much threatened, but still they may face extinction if it is not protected. So that is the features of the tinamous. Because of they are threatened by deforestation and loss of habitat, and in South America such problems are quite common, and that is one important problem of the South America. Now if you go to the next one, that is the marsupials. Several species of marsupials are there. There are basically sloths are there. Now you can find one species of sloth here. The sloths are very slow moving animals, and there are three different species of sloth in South America. The interesting thing about the sloth is that I will tell you a few points. Sloth. Then, in addition to the sloth, you can find marsupials are also there. Now, regarding the marsupials are commonly present in Australian region, whereas in some species of marsupials are also common present, like opossum. Opossum is one example that of marsupial. Then several different species of monkeys are common in South America. Then and squirrels are there. Then different like spider monkey is one example, and several species of deer, bats, etc. So these are the some regarding the diversity of the mammals which are present in the South American region. Now the South American region has an interesting thing, because South America was originally a part of the Gondwana land, the giant continent. Then it got split into two major regions, that is the Eurasia, and first there was Pangaea. Pangaea got split into Laurasia and Gondwana land. So during the time, South of America was together with Africa, Australia and India, and also even with Antarctica. That is why South America share many animals and plants which are common in African region also. It is because of splitting. Then that splitting took place around 110 million years back, and during the time South America was separated from Africa and drifted to the north. Then the South America was again joined by North America by the formation of the land bridge of Panama. That took place around 2 to 3 million years ago. So it was during that time that the migration of animals from North America to South America and from South America to North America took place. That event is known as the Great American Interchange. Then many South American species like ancestors of Virginia opossum and armadillo moved from North America to South America, and ancestors of camels and also llama also moved from North America to South America. So it was this Great American Interchange or Great American Migration that was responsible for the presence of many North American species in South America and southern species in North America. And so these are the some of the features of the North American animals. So going to the diversity, this is the thing that we have to tell about the fish diversity, amphibian diversity, diversity of reptiles, diversity of birds, and also the diversity of animals. So with this we are stopping our class for today.